Good day, students. Another example of a simple harmonic oscillator, which is a Helmholtz resonator. So a Helmholtz resonator, what is it basically? It is a container of gas, okay? Usually with air and water you could have. There is air with an open hole at one end, or we would call it over here in our case the neck. So basically the volume of air in and near the open hole, okay, vibrates because of the springiness of the air inside. Now when I'm talking about the springiness of the air inside, I want you to imagine a spring mass system. Okay, so for a common example of a Helmholtz resonator would be an empty bottle. So the air inside vibrates when you blow air across the top. You'll have all you'll have all Many of y'all must have tried this, blowing air into an empty bottle, and y'all can hear a noise, right? What is that noise? That is basically resonance. And it is an example of a Helmholtz resonator. Or we can say that the bottle, So what happens at the neck of the bottle is that there is a constant vibration of the air taking place. There is up and down, to and from motion. So like what is mentioned here in these points, it's the same, that there is an air cavity inside the resonator. So moving, that's just how the diagram is, or how is the design of a Helmholtz resonator. So moving ahead, okay, let's look at this. So when you blow air into the neck of the bottle, the vibration is here due to the springiness of the air. So when you blow air, you're compressing. So the pressure inside increases and it tends to expand back to its original volume. Okay, so you're compressing it and it's trying to expand back to its original volume. So there is a constant to and fro motion of the air in there. So we consider a lump of air at the neck of the bottle. Okay, over here, which is shaded in the middle, this over here, this thing. The air jet can force this lump little away down the neck. Now what is this air jet? Is we blow air into it. So thereby what happens? The air inside compresses. Okay. The pressure now drives the lump of air out. So the pressure that is there inside drives this lump of air back out. But when it comes back to its original position, its momentum takes it on outside the body a small distance. I mean, when it gets to its original position, right, its momentum takes it on the outside the body by a small distance. So slight air moves out. This rarefies the air inside the body, which then sucks the lump of air back in. It can thus vibrate like a spring mass system. Okay, so the jet of air from your lips is capable of deflecting basically alternately into the bottle and outside, and then it provides the power to keep the oscillation going. Okay, so that is what it's basically. The air of the mouth acts like a piston, or like this mass over here. Air compresses and rarefies the air contained inside the resonator. So there is a to and fro motion taking place. So whenever vibrations are introduced to the mouth of the resonator, air inside the resonator is compressed and it tries to rush out. So I just wanted to give you a thing of how why do you hear the noise. I'll come to that. Just that what is actually happening when you blow air in is there is a to and fro motion of the spring mass system. So following the spring mass analogy, the air in the mouth of the resonator acts like the mass. So, okay, so while the air inside the resonator acts like a spring. So this portion inside is like the spring, while the air in the mouth acts like the mass. So when the frequency external source, so in case of a Helmholtz resonator which you all have done in the lab, that is the external source is what? That is the frequency of the tuning fork. When the frequency of the tuning fork matches with the frequency of the air that is oscillating in and out of the resonator, then we say resonance takes place. That's when the loud sound is produced. Alright, so okay, this topic you can skip. So this is an example of a simple harmonic oscillator. So there is movement to and from motion of air. The air in the neck acts like the mass, while the air in the cavity acts like the spring. As you blow air, there is to and from motion taking place. When the external frequency matches with the frequency of the air to and from motion in, that's when resonance takes place. So this is an example of a simple harmonic oscillator. Thank you.